Hello, everyone. Today we have Miles, and it's so lovely to see him again. I have worked with him and his human guardians before, and Miles is always so big into treats and cookies. So he made sure that I had a cookie treat, and I did. Thank you, Miles, for that lovely idea. And before I hit the record button here, Miles asked me to make myself hot chocolate. So, Miles, you have a lot of awesome ideas. And I know previously when I worked with Miles, he was big into treats. So, Miles, you and I have cookies and treats in common here. Let's get into the email from his human guardian. And she says, "Hi, Mari. Thank you so much for this group pet reading. Please see attached a photo of Miles. Thankfully, he's still on Earth with us, and our relationship is like we're his parents and he's our baby. I hope you've been happy, safe, and healthy." And I love my community because they're always asking how I'm doing. Thank you. I'm doing very well. I had a lovely walk outside today in the sun. Miles has helped me select the tarot decks that he wants to use to channel messages for his human and for everyone else in the community who wants to listen in on his very fun and light energy. I'm feeling, sorry, Miles' higher self is stepping in. I just want to say that I have permission from Miles' higher self and his conscious self to channel this. And I double checked already, and I heard Miles say, I'm ready to go, 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 go. As I was saying, I was feeling there was a shift happening within Miles. It's like a spiritual shift. And yes, creatures do go spiritual shifts also along with you. And with Miles' energy, it feels like there's some kind of, I would say, he's saying actually, a slight elevation in his vibration right now. And I'm saying, or he's saying, a slight elevation in his frequency because he is, and animals can feel the shifts that are happening externally around the world, and they're just wanting to slowly open up a layer at a time. Very much how the spring flowers right now are slowly opening up, right? It's cold in the morning, so they open up slowly, but once their surroundings are a little warmer and more comfortable, they bloom in full. And that is how Miles is explaining to me. That's how the process is for him right now. And I'm just glancing back at his the email that his mom sent me, but he's saying, please continue on with the cards. What's the energy that's coming? If you resonated with any of the cards that are attached to this Patreon post, then there is a message here for you. Your dreams need a practical plan, says Miles. And his higher self, and I feel like it's his higher self that's wanting to step in and deliver more of this perspective of wisdom and more of a spiritual lens here. What Miles is saying is that there's some fears there that are filtering or are like filters on the way you see the world and the future. And he wants his humans to look into what's the fear there, because something really needs to be addressed or just discussed, either on the surface to the level that is comfortable or take it as deep as they want to go. And this is all about what does even the near future, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or the year or 5 years from now, if you want to go that far. That's a long-term planning. How would that look like for you, and how would that feel for you? Miles is very much focused on how does it feel? How do you want to feel within that future? And allow that feeling to inspire you the plan. And right now, he's saying there's there's a lot that he feels is possible, absolutely possible. So he's feeling the potential of his human guardians to create a life that's so much more calmer, smoother, and satisfying and happier and more joyful. He could really, really feel that. He's asking me to go on to the other cards here because he's saying it speaks about the outcome. Expect powerful change. So I just got the chills as I channeled that through Miles' higher self. So that is what could happen. That could be the result if there's a moment or many moments where the the human guardians could just sit down and hash out, okay, this is how I'm feeling now, this is how I want to feel in the future, and how are we going to get from point A to B? What will be the plan? And what are the various aspects of our life where we might want to make changes so that there's an element of that peace and satisfaction and joy that starts to seep in more and more, and it builds up to this massive change, this powerful change. So do work on that practical plan, but as Miles is stepping in again and emphasizing, how do you want to feel? And dogs are so good at making us feel, right? And Miles is saying, I'm really focused on dopamine hits, cookies and treats, and things that make me joyful and enjoy and love food. So that's a big one. And the other is just cultivating a lot of love. And he really truly feels that that's the foundation, joy and love, that is going to build up to a powerful change. You're very close to achieving your goal. And this is good news, isn't it? If you've been working on yourself, and for anyone else listening, this applies to you too. If you've been working on yourself, then you're getting really close. And with this past solar eclipse, things may have shifted in you. Maybe something got cleared out from your life, or maybe some things got cleared off on your plate, which means that there's more room for wonderful things to come in. And if you're really close to achieving your goal, I'm hearing Miles repeat the message from the previous dog, which I believe was Pebbles, who also spoke to the community about not forcing things, just flowing, allowing the flow to come in, and knowing when to become active, knowing when to take actions. And it's a very intuitive gut instinct level of acting on divine inspirations that get dropped into your head. And it's very much in alignment with what the universe has in plan for you and your soul's purpose. And when you are inspired to take those actions, please do, says Miles, because it will get you closer to achieving your goal. Again, Miles is emphasizing, don't try to force things. And I could hear Pebble's higher self coming in, and she's very close to the energetic edge of this reading, as I like to say, because she does respect Miles and wants Miles to have a space with me right now, but she's off in the distance here barking and saying, yes, I like to repeat what Miles is saying, that yes, don't force things, but when you get that intuitive hit or knowing to move forward, please do. I highly recommend listening to Pebbles reading if any of the messages that Miles says right now resonates with you. Oh, and I had a feeling this was going to happen. As I picked up the next set of cards, Miles' energy just went by me and knocked the tarot cards out from my hands. So there you go. You just probably heard the squeaky stool that I'm sitting on. So these cards were selected by Miles, and these are from the Spirit Animal Tarot deck. Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between. So going back then to the previous message from both Pebbles and Miles, Don't try to force things if you find yourself trying to force it. If things feel stagnant, we kind of feel this pressure or this anxiety building up within us to really push things forward. But just embrace that in between state. Something is building up, something is brewing in the distant future for you. So embrace that slow state or what feels like a stagnant, blocked state for you, because something is needing to shift either within you or externally in the world for a new opening for you to go through. Miles is saying if you're in this in between state or limbo state, how are you resisting it? One of the ways we resist this limbo or blocked state is by trying to push things forward or falling into this rabbit hole of anxiety and worries and worst case scenario stories, right? And Miles is laughing because he could pick up on the human's energy of when we go down that vortex of anxiety and worry. But be aware of how your mind starts to want to force things to go forward through the feelings of anxiety or worst case scenario stories that go on repeat on your mind. And if that happens, change up your energy, go for a walk, or as Miles' conscious self is stepping in, have a cookie or a hot chocolate. Go chase a ball. ah, so embracing the in between also means bringing in a gentle touch, which is the next message from the deer spirit, right? Change up that energy a bit. Maybe you need to tap into that gentle energy of your inner child and go chase that ball. Do something different. Miles is saying maybe you might need to go to the dollar store and just buy like a random toy, and that will be your tool to de-stress or release any energy that's building up within you. Hummingbird Spirit says, be here now. And I feel this continues on with all the messages that have channeled through from the deer spirit and the flamingo spirit. When you're there in the present moment, you know how you're feeling. I'm feeling anxious. Okay, stay present with that. I could see the roots of it. I could see the negative beliefs that are creating this feeling of anxiety and perhaps things that I learned culturally or from society or from my family. Okay, still stick with being present. And once you recognize those things and acknowledge the roots of your anxiety and fear, ask yourself, how do I want to deal with this right now in this moment? Temporarily, maybe I need to deal with it by going out for a walk, chasing a ball, or having a cookie. Or how can I want to then deal with it permanently? Do I need to see a therapist? Do I just need to have a really good, deep conversation with a friend? However that manifests for you, I would like to allow your spirit guides, the creator, and your creatures' higher selves to inspire you. Miles is saying, let's go to the next cards. These speak about anything within your DNA, meaning memories from your ancestors, negative beliefs from them that you have inherited, and any unhealed trauma that is coming through, that is pushing through right now. And once that's released, it will go back to that card, doesn't it, of you moving more closer to achieving your goal. When we feel stagnant or blocked, another reason for that energy of stagnation that happens in your life is that an energy or some kind of a crack is opening within you. And there's that moment of stillness, right? And that is what is happening, says Miles. And sometimes those cracks need to open slowly and bloom, perhaps all of a sudden, to release something or to let some light inside you shine even more. And then that inner light in you will direct you to the path that you need to head on. I had to clear my throat because I feel like Miles needs to clear his throat too. That's what the card, the initiation, speaks about. Rite of passage, and you're crossing the threshold. It's like you're almost there, right? You're almost there. And the way I see it is, and I'm a hiker, so spirit is showing to me in the way that I can understand and that I could channel the message to you. The way that they're explaining this is they're placing me on a mountain, and it's like I'm 2/3 of the way to the top. I'm still within the forest. I'm still in the tree line. I can't quite see to the top, but I know that once I'm past that 800-meter mark or elevation gain mark, I know I'll clear the trees. But I just need to trust and walk the path, and then I'll enter a clearing. I'll go beyond the tree line and I could see things better. I could see the peak of the mountain. I could see my destination better and gauge how long it may take or how much more energy I need to exert. And I'm also hearing what the weather is like. And by that, Spirit explaining it this way, you might see your end goal, but pay attention to the weather, the emotions of the people around you, the shifts happening perhaps in your company or economically or just around the world, because those weathers need to pass and then you could see clearly again. And we can thank Spirit for that explanation. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So when you feel that you're in that storm, that weather, and you feel like, oh, damn it, the universe is always working against me, there's always challenges, knowing that it's happening for a reason, because within the global shift, your own shift is also involved in it too. And sometimes those things need to just clear out first. And then you'll see, okay, that's what it is. And that's what I need to do. Interesting that crossing over, cracked open, they're quite the theme for Miles Guardians. So this is really exciting. I do feel it does apply to their marriage. There's a major shift that's happening there. There's some sort of an elevation where their heart connections are going to deepen. And Miles was actually contracted in this lifetime to hold space for that and witness that. It's wonderful to have witnesses in our lives to see your own evolution just with yourself or a partner where you could witness it with each other, because that just makes the shift even more powerful and the integration to go deeper. And I'm hearing Miles say you may also get more meaning out from it because there are viewpoints, perspectives from a second person coming in, right? Your divine life partner coming in. And their perspective will allow you to deepen your own inner world and your own inner journey. The other card, Imrama, speaks about where are you being called to journey to. And you will know this once you've reached the peak of that mountain. And Spirit is saying here, and they want to be clear, there are many peaks, many mountains we will climb throughout our life. It's not that one mountain peak we will climb, conquer, and okay, we could just rest and relax. There are many mountains, and the mountains just symbolize challenges in our lives. Once you get to that peak, you're going to see the entire landscape, and you're going to see what other mountain peaks interest you. So, what are those other mountain peaks? Those are perhaps vacations you might want to take together, that because you both feel it would help to deepen the family bond. It could be your own personal explorations, right? A mountain peak could symbolize an art class or something else that you may individually explore, and somehow that individual explorations contribute to the deepening of the heart connection. So, however, that mountain wants to present itself, I do feel there's quite a bit. I'm seeing anywhere of 18 or more different adventures that's possible. And again, it's a choice, and you'll make your own individual choices that you will share with the other, and then you will make choices together. And I'm seeing what else Miles wants to say about that. All he's saying is it's going to be really fun. And I could feel his conscious self knowing that too. What are we doing today? So don't worry about really far, far off into the future, because once you feel yourself crack open and you cross the threshold and you feel the initiation internally happen within your soul, you'll be at that peak and you'll see the entire landscape. And you'll know where to take your next adventure with Miles. Miles is asking me to get into the rose cards. And these speak about the energy that you are leveling up into. These are part of your soul contract and also Miles' soul contract. So you could both learn it together. I do feel Miles in some ways, in subtle ways, but also in big ways through how he expresses himself, is somehow related to this. So do pay attention to your pet's way of living, because they're trying to inspire us too. What's the energy you're leveling up into after you have cracked open and you're at the peak? And what are the other mountain peaks symbolize? It symbolizes the liberator, the creator, and the warrior. Wow. Wow. Okay. These are big energies, and I got the chills, and I'm still getting the chills as I'm holding these three cards. The liberator. Once you're at the peak, and I'm not sure if anyone here has climbed to the top of a mountain, but oh my gosh, it is amazing. All that hard work does pay off when you see the view at the top. And that's the feeling Miles is saying that you're going to feel when you're at that threshold or you crossed it. And you feel this inner freedom that's going to well up inside you. And that feeling of freedom liberates you, and you then become inspired to want to explore a little more. Be a bit of a prospector. Have that prospector energy. I'm curious of what that mountain would be like and what kind of treasures or gold I could find there. That's the kind of curiosity that's calling you. The creator. This speaks again to having that practical plan. And I'm just looking at that card again. Yes, the energy is buzzing and connecting with each other between your dreams need a practical plan and a creator. So that's part of creating your life, isn't it? Having that plan, have it written, but no pressure, says your spirit guides here, of having every single detail, because the weathers change, right? The external circumstances could change, but at least have a basic plan, and the universe is going to fill out the rest of the details that fall in between. So create that plan and have fun with it. That's what I'm hearing. And at the same time, be open to the universe sending you something better, because that's what I always like to remind everyone. When we do our own inner work and we're open to experiencing life and closing our karmic lessons, the universe likes to offer something like a gift to us to complement our new elevated inner energy. If you have manifest something previously, either in my circle or in your own time or in your own private session, I feel those have gotten free upgrades from the spirit world. And so be open to those manifestations coming back in a different package. I also remind that to everyone in my circle. So if it comes back in a different package, be open to receiving it in a different form and in bigger and better ways. So I feel that there are some manifestations that are wanting to come in, and I want to say trickle in because I could see them all lined up, but they're waiting for that initiation, for you to cross that threshold, for you to be cracked open. Once, oh, I have to clear my throat a lot for miles. Once you feel the energy of liberation and freedom and know what you want to create with the creator or the universe for your future, this warrior energy is going to step in. And it's this intense, focused, very driven energy of, okay, this is the plan. And it's like this level of confidence steps in, and you just know in your gut that it feels good, and you know that it's what you need to do. And that is all that Miles wants to say. I'm just gonna quickly tune in back to his conscious self. No, he's saying he has said everything. I'm gonna tune into his higher self. Nope, I'm hearing his higher self has channeled everything that they needed to channel. Thank you, Miles. And thank you, Miles, for suggesting that I have hot chocolate next to me while I did this. And I hope you all treat yourself too. Have a cookie or a hot chocolate. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day.